The Mavic Pro came out, I think, in 2016. It's about a year and a half old. If I had to design a quad, this would be it. Now, what's unique and special about the Mavic, unlike the Phantom 4 Pro and the Inspire, which, by the way, are, the Inspire, you could probably get $2,000-$3,000 in the Inspire. What's interesting with the Mavic is, well, let's go ahead and fold her up first. She folds up. That's it. That's the whole quad. And these propellers, my God, the engineering's excellent on these. Let me show you how easy they are to put on. So let's go ahead and fold her back out. Again, this would go into my bag. I bought this primarily for my motorcycle club rides. In fact, I'm going to be doing a ride with Kuka Ryder, one of my motovlogging buddies. I don't believe Phil is one of my Facebook friends. I really don't have a lot of Facebook friends. My intention with Facebook was not to create a lot of friends, or it was basically I limited it to originally just motovlogging friends. So anyway, to the Mavic, as you see how I spread it out. But watch how these props go on. Anyway, these props make it dummy proof. There's a white ring here that corresponds to the white on these two motors. These would be counterclockwise rotating, given the pitch of the blade. Anyway, watch how easy this prop is to put on. That's it. This is freaking easy. This is the other. This would be a clockwise rotating. Again, you just put it down. It's it. Takes seconds to put the props on. I'm going to turn these off, or take these off, because I'm going to rifle or fire it up for you guys. So again, you just push them down and take them off. Literally just takes you a second. Excellent idea. So here's the why is the Mavic so expensive? Well, it does a million things, and you have a 3-axis gimbal. This is a 4K camera, folks. Now, it's not going to be the quality of a Phantom 4 Pro or an Inspire. Now, I think some of the Inspires can carry a regular 35mm camera. And granted, for professional photographers, you're going to want that. But this here's pretty damn good and really ideal for me. But you see how the gimbal's kind of oscillating. Well, let me go ahead and fire the Mavic up. This is the battery here. Again, when you press the button, that means the battery has a full charge. These batteries, by the way, are almost $100 a piece, just the battery. So let's go ahead and lift that off, show you how it just plugs in. Again, this really was designed for convenience. Here is the Mavic controller. You use your own phone as the display. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of fire this up for you to see. First of all, with the controller, you just double click here. You'll get it connecting. You heard a beep. I'm going to go ahead and hit the Mavic. You go twice. Now you just don't want to really touch it, but you see the gimbal moving there. Now you don't necessarily need your phone. You can fly this off the remote itself. Actually, you can fly this bird off the phone. Wouldn't recommend it because you're limited on range, maybe to 75 yards. You really should use the controller. Let me go ahead and my phone blacked out here. Let's go ahead and here's the Mavic. There's the app. You hit Go Fly. And again, just bear with me here. There we are. Hello. Now I'm going to shoot some video out in the garage, do a test hover. I actually did one yesterday, and what you find out quickly with the Mavic, the one negative is the camera is not autofocus. If you see here, let's say for example, I have that reticle at the bottom of my telescope. If I want to focus there, I can hit that, or actually I have a button here. I hit this button and she will autofocus wherever she's looking. So you need to do that, and that's something I'm not used to doing. With your more expensive drones, they autofocus. So that would be the only negative aspect of this. But anyway, you know, I have my various video functions. This has return to home. This just has a slew of different, his quick shot, gesture. I can actually have this quad take pictures, not video, but take pictures of me just doing various hand gestures. It has an active track. I can actually have this drone image me. I can put this controller down, ride my motorcycle, and this thing will follow me. I mean, it's truly amazing, because most of the cheaper quadcopters, the drone was following the remote, but not true with the Mavic. The Mavic has very high-end image identifiers, so it actually is following the person. It's got tripod mode. This is ideal when I do events like with my RC club. We go out to Flight Fest out in Malvern, which I did a video a year or two ago. Put on tripod mode, and the quad goes very slow. It's even if I go full stick, it just only goes about 2 miles an hour. It's designed just for slow panoramic scenic shots. Tons of different options on the camera. Terrain follow. This bird will actually, when it's flying, will actually go up and down over hills. Very interesting stuff. Point of interest. Again, if I tap that, it'll just buzz around me, whatever, you know, maintain the camera on the person. Again, it has follow me mode. A lot of even your toy grade quads have that. Waypoints is interesting. I actually built my one quad, the one quad I'm trying to sell, I posted earlier. The Green Hornet has waypoints, but this is far better. And then this has home lock, and again, it has course lock. Course lock, I don't think that's really used. I think that's like a headless mode, probably not used. From what I've seen on YouTube, home lock, not much used. Points of interest, I'll probably use. Follow me mode, and I'll probably use a lot of the active track, where it could follow me on my motorcycle. Quick shot, I'm not sure, and tripod, and then gesture mode again for taking selfies. Basically, you have a flying selfie. So now you're going to see this here saying magnetic interference. This drone is very, very sensitive to metals. You know, I'm here. I have a magnet. In fact, I have a magnet right there. So you got to be careful where you fly this. I'm going to go ahead and just, again, there are no props on it. I'm going to start the motors up. Now you actually heard this say take off. The motors are running. Now see, it's warning me we've got magnetic interference. What's interesting with the Mavic, now to shut the motors on, I can just bring this down and the motors stop. Don't have that. I've never had that with any other drone, which is kind of interesting. This drone, you cannot land it hard. This drone actually senses the ground through sensors right here. This has sonic, and it has optic sensors. This drone too also has sensors to the front. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and shut this down here. First of all, you always shut the quad down first. 2 taps. I'm just going to go ahead and shut this down. Just tell you, shut down. Okay, really easy setup. Of course, my phone. You know you're disconnected from this because you get, looks like a black and white 1960s image, which is frozen. Funny little story. I was flying this here in the basement. Now you have to be. I'm a pretty experienced quadcopter pilot, and there's a lot of stories of fellows getting excited. They get their Mavic and they do a test flight in the house, and all of a sudden they find it backs up into a wall or sideways. The reason being is when this is indoors, it's not using GPS to hold its position. It's using the optical sensors. Well, a lot of times if you're in a dimly lit area, say in my office, if this can't track, say this surface for example, black is terrible. If this can't really track where it is image-wise, it's going to float around. So I would not advise doing that. But anyway, I did a test flight yesterday, and I actually lost contact with with my transmitter. This thing was just flying, was hovering, was not going anywhere, was hovering. I couldn't shut the damn thing down. So finally I figured out I had to reboot. I rebooted the transmitter. It's all fine. So I don't know what the problem is. There are a lot of issues on YouTube about this cable, the cable connection, and crashes with the app, but that wasn't my problem because it had nothing to do with the phone but this. So it could have been, since my Wi-Fi was enabled on my phone, not quite sure what happened there. But the good news is I learned to get control of the drone. You just recycle this remote back on. So I'm going to do a little test flight out in the garage. Take some video, just wrap it around. Again, I'm doing this video for my friend Bob in Michigan, and Mavic Pro. What can I say? This thing is the absolute best quad I can own, dollar for dollar, because of the size, the video, the 4K video. It's a truly amazing quad. Yes, they are about $1,200, so it's this is not for somebody just getting into the hobby. You know, start off on a cheap. Here, let me show you. For you folks that are not sure about quads, spend $50 and get a SEMA. This is the X5C or something like that. This won't hurt you, folks. You can fly this in the house. It's not going to really do much damage. Really get all your orientation skills on something like this and then kind of progress up into the Mavic. Now the Mavic, believe it or not, for as complex as it is actually very easy to fly, since it has auto height adjustment. It has an altimeter, so this, wherever this, if you let go of the sticks on this, it will just stay put in the sky. So you have a 4.2 mile range. That's incredible, folks. Now, since I'm registered with the FAA and I belong to an RC club and I'm an AMA member, that's for insurance reasons, by the way, we ill-advise, the club frowns on flying beyond line of sight. I have seen guys fly this several miles away. Obviously you can't. And still, by the way, and still maintain some video FPV or you know, video signal, which is amazing. This uses a very different proprietary technology to communicate the video to the drone. So anyway, I don't want to make this too long. I'm going to do a little bit of video out in the garage. I'll talk to you guys later.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map. Take off. The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map. SD card is full.